Welcome to Halifax in the A. Garnet Gymnasium on the campus of Mount St. Vincent University for game number 2 in the MWBA Weekend Showcase, the showcase weekend of stars of this inaugural season in the MWBA. It's the Halifax Hornets versus the Port City Fog alongside Gail Rice, Vince Williams on hand. Good afternoon and welcome to game number 2. In game number 1, we saw the Windsor Edge knock off the Moncton Mystics. But this game between the Fog and the Hornets, we have the second place team. And the Hornets who come into this game 2-1. And the Fog who are 1-3 in search of win number 2 to move in the second place, Gail. And what should we see between these two teams this afternoon?
Well, in the first game, I talked a lot about defense. We felt that the Windsor Edge, that was the edge for them, that they turned the game around. They started slowly against Moncton, and then Moncton was hot early. You know, I see with this brand of basketball, the outside shooting is very important, and we'll see if which team might establish that, because it can set the pace. And of course, I'll be keeping a close eye on the defense. I'm very familiar with most of the Halifax Hornets. Be interested to get to know the Port City Fog.
And we'll send it over to the public address announcer for the starting lineups.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the A. Garnet Brown Gymnasium for today's game, the second matchup of the MWBA Showcase Weekend. This matchup has the Port City Fog against the Halifax Hornets. Officials for today's game are Joe Harley, Alonzo Wright, and Adam Detien. We'd like to acknowledge that this team is built on unceded ancestral Mi'kmaq territory. We intersect the knowledge embedded in indigenous custodians of this land and to the elders past, present, and future. And now time to introduce the roster from Port City Fog. Number 2, Anthony Shields. Number 13, Lauren Harris. Number 16, Amelia Mitchell. And number 17, Emily Fitzpatrick. And now time to starting lineup. At guard, number 6, Bailey Henderson.
teams introduced here, the Hornets and the Fog, here in game number 2 on this afternoon. The MWBA weekend showcase, as both of these teams looking to move their records forward alongside Gail Rice, Vince Williams on hand, and the Fog and the Hornets. I mean, they're going to see each other for the first time this afternoon, and there's lots of stars on both of these teams. Both of these teams, one from Nova Scotia and the other from New Brunswick.
I noticed a very slim bench. Port City doesn't have its full team. I didn't hear Reese Baxendale. That'll be a loss for them. We'll see how the depth of the Hornets, if it's a factor here.
The opening tap's controlled by the Hornets. Here's Smith for 3, and Smith gets the friendly roll. So Chanel Smith, the product of Acadia University for the Axe women, open up the scoring. The Hornets, they'll start with McMillan, Beaumont, Folis, and Parent. For the Fog, it's Henderson, Farwell, Stewart, Briggs, and Kilpatrick, as the first possession for the Fog goes by the wayside with a turnover.
And Chanel Smith got them off on the right foot with that 3. She's from royalty when it comes to basketball.
Averaging 10 points per game on the season, an AUS second-team All-Star in 2016-17 for the Axe women, and a champion under the tutelage of Len Harvey. Blow by here. The right hand no good, as Folis keeps it alive. The Beaumont now. Beaumont handoff to Smith. Back to Beaumont for 3. Corner 3's no good. Threw up the air ball, and Port City will come back the other way. Fog now trying to get into their half-court set. Kilpatrick directing traffic, closely guarded by Parent. Shot clock's under 10. Good duck inside there, and catch by Megan Stewart. She's fouled by Alana McMillan.
There's a bit of a mismatch in there.
And Stewart will go to the line to shoot 2.
Now look at the roster and try to pick starters for the Halifax Hornets. I mean, they've got such depth. You see people like Jalen Skier not starting, and Leah Frazier, and Clara Gascoigne played great this year for St. Mary's.
As Megan Stewart will go 1 for 2, the York product, averaging 4 points per game on the season here for the Fog. McMillan on the handoff. She'll turn the corner. That's rejected by Kirkpatrick. She'll get it back though. Nice pocket pass to Beaumont, and Beaumont banks it home.
I notice the Hornets have Catherine Follis, it says from Ryerson. They won the national championship. I wonder, was she on the team this year or perhaps not?
That shot's no good. Another one and done. Parent up to McMillan.
Great.
And an easy bucket there for Beaumont.
Oh, they got that ball down in a hurry.
So Beaumont, 12 points per game, the AUS All-Rookie team in 2019-20. And a foul call on, it looks like it's on Smith. Follis, excuse me, she'll get the personal.
Of course, Ryerson coached by Carly Clark, who won the national.
Farwell, averaging 13 points per game. That's 8th in the league. She'll go 1 for 2. The Toronto Metropolitan University. Here's McMillan, can't get it to fall. Fog will come back the other way. Farwell. Kirkpatrick, she'll face up Parent. She'll get inside. That rims out. Offensive rebound here, second chance coming up for the Fog. Good spin move, takes Smith down low, draws the double. Nice reversal as Farwell gets another bucket.
It's tough passing out of that double.
Here's Parent, she'll spin inside. Parent with the soft touch with the left hand and gets it to go down. Parent, she'll steal it. That entry pass is stolen away by the Hornets. Here's Parent now. Thought about the mid-range jumper. She'll hand it off to Smith. Smith turns the corner and knocks it down.
Getting off to a good start, 11-4 now for the Hornets.
Quick start here for Halifax.
See Jalen Skier ready to come in.
Good entry pass and knocked off the ball and fouled there on Lucienne Beaumont. She'll be called for her first personal. Multiple substitutions for both of these teams. As you mentioned, Jaylene Skier will come in for McMillan, along with Macias.
Great to see Jalen Skier coaching high school at Armbray.
The three is no good by Farwell. And a rebound on the other side and a foul. Coming into the game for the first time is number 24, Hannah Brown. Hannah Brown, a highly decorated university player from the University of Cape Breton Capers, the AUS MVP, All-Canadian in 2018-19, a two-time AUS first-team All-Star in 2017-18 and 18-19. So lots of hardware in the trophy case for Hannah Brown.
I coached against her when she was at Memorial, and we had the hardest time ever stopping her. She's a great player.
Played her high school basketball in Cape Breton, a local product, Memorial High School. So Jayla Varney's in for the first time for the Hornets as head coach John Tramble with the revolving door here in substitutions. They are deep, as you mentioned, Gail, the Halifax Hornets. They a big lineup, and they can get all five. They can interchangeable for the Hornets here. And Coach John Tramble has no problem putting all five in an exchange and not have a drop-off.
Jayla Verney, you mentioned, she, of course, was a star at Citadel High, and I don't know if they won all 3 years, but they had quite a run. They won many years and might have had 3 provincial championships with Citadel, but another great player. They're all such good talent here, the whole league.
So Kaylin Crosby's into the game for the first time for the Hornets. Farwell for 3. She'll leave it short, try to chase it down. Second chance coming up here. Good try, hand off. And Farwell tried to find a teammate on the baseline, and Lauren Harris.
Early in the game, the Port City Fog were using a high post offense, and it was nice to see, but I'm not sure they're going to that every time.
Here's Brown. She'll leave it for Macias for 3. And Macias puts it in.
She knew that was going down from the minute it left her hand.
Double-digit lead here, just past the midway point of the opening quarter. The Hornets lead it. Stewart, and she'll leave that 3 short. Rebound is gathered. Kick back out to Stewart. Stewart baseline drive, try to lay it off inside there for Lauren Harris. And that'll be a turnover for the Fog.
Can't afford that. They're already down 10, 14-4.
Good entry pass here, and Farwell tried to push the opponent off the line there, and Crosby trying to get position.
Another former Dow player.
Gear's 3's no good. Varney now. Varney off the dribble. Pull up, and it's good. So a 12-point lead here for the Hornets. Shields, backdoor to Stewart. Good looking play in the half court. Can't get the shot to fall though. It was a good look there for Mitchell. Here's Brown with the left hand, can't get it to go. Mitchell back the other way for the foul. Mitchell taking on 2 defenders, and Mitchell will run right into the chest of Skier, and that'll be an offensive foul.
And I think she actually traveled before she charged, but they called the charge. Port City doesn't have a long bench, so I'm surprised at the pace. I'm surprised they're pushing it as much as they are.
So timeout called by Port City as Madeline Bedling had enough, and she calls a timeout with 3:22 remaining here, and it's been all the Halifax Hornets here. But if you're Port City, what are you looking at, in regards to strategy of trying to slow the Hornets?
Well, I would slow the pace a little bit, especially when I think they only have 3 on the bench. And we've already talked about the Hornets are so deep. They've got more than one starting 5 there sitting, and ready to go. They don't lose anything when they go to their bench. And I'll be interested to see if they want to bring it up with a little more control. I know it's tough to do with the 8-second backcourt and, the 24-second. But they'll have to use the timeouts as they just did. But you don't get enough of those anymore. It's not like the NBA or WNBA.
So timeout called by the Port City Fog. 3:22 remaining here in the opening frame. The Halifax Hornets lead it 16-4 alongside Gail Rice. Vince Williams on hand, and out of the timeout, the Hornets will go with the same lineup as Varney, Skier in the backcourt, Macias, Crosby, and Parent, who's come in for Brown. Crosby on the spin, and she's fouled on that spin move as Madeline Bedling.
And you notice Halifax is utilizing some low post action. In the previous game, we were commenting there wasn't a lot of that. There was pretty much a perimeter game, but it looks like they have Crosby in the post. And I'm not sure if anyone else is, but she's certainly posting up. Crosby, of course, the niece of Anna Pendergast.
She'll go 1 for 2 on her first trip. Kilpatrick with the stretch pass. Kilpatrick tried to get it back. That's knocked out of bounds by Parent, and it will stay with the Fog. As Beaumont and Smith will come back, Crosby and Skier will sit down.
I have to laugh. I always still call her Pendergast. Of course, Stambergers are married. People say, who's that?
Former head coach of Dalhousie University Tigers.
And a great player for Dal in her day.
Extremely good player is Anna Stamberger. Conference All-Star and All-Canadian. Here's Parent. Mismatch inside there. Try to utilize it as Kilpatrick tried to help out as she was able to post up Emily Shields, product from St. John High School.
I wonder if Coach Tramble, knowing that there's not a lot of depth today for Port City, is trying to go inside, maybe draw some fouls, get them in foul trouble, because that'll make it even tougher for them if they start getting some of their players in foul trouble.
Nine players dressed here for Port City as they make the trip down the Trans-Canada Highway this afternoon. Macias to Beaumont for 3. Parent try to keep it alive, and it'll go over to the Fog.
They've been stalled. They only have 4 points, so they've had some good looks and rimmed out, but got to start getting some scoring.
Shields to try to bring it over. She is pressured by Alana McMillan. McMillan, a highly decorated player from St. Mary's University, averaging 7 points per game, was all AUS rookie in 2018-19 and an AUS All-Star. Second team in 2019-2020. Kilpatrick rips it down. Kilpatrick tied up by Macias as Parent and Kilpatrick battling for that loose ball, and it will stay with Port City.
She's a big presence in there. She's had a little bad luck. 2 bunnies have rimmed out. She's tough.
Kaylee Kirkpatrick from New Hampshire University.
Good box out by Parent.
Here's McMillan. McMillan now hands it off to Beaumont. Beaumont lays it up and in. Beautiful play in transition between McMillan and Beaumont.
It's going to be a tough one for Port City. It's hard to even take the ball to slow things down because Halifax is pressing the whole time, right up on them.
Here's Kilpatrick. Stewart spins in the lane. She'll lose the handle, stolen by Parent. Stretch pass to McMillan. McMillan challenging Kilpatrick. She tried to leave it there for her former teammate in Macias. And Stewart will come back the other way. She'll spin, she'll put it out to Shields. Shields now will get into their half-court set for the Fob. Trying to get space on McMillan. Under 5 to shoot. Ball's on the floor and a tie-up as Beaumont was able to tie up Mitchell. And possession arrow will favor the Hornets. So Emily Griggs will come back and Lauren Harris will come in as well for the Fob. Under a minute to go here. 15-point lead for the Hornets, who came out on fire. Here's Smith, who opened up the scoring, and Smith knocks down another mid-range jumper.
I think she's 3 for 3.
Couple jumpers for Smith and a 3. Good move there. Unable to get it to go down was Briggs. And another one and done for the Fob. Here's Smith now. Smith draws the double. Beaumont, she'll take it inside, kick it out to McMillan. McMillan from way outside. That's off the backboard and rims out. Port City will hold on for the last shot here in the quarter. Gotta hurry though. Kilpatrick tries to take Parent off the drive, and it looks like Parent will be called for the reach. And a couple shots coming up here as the Hornets are over the limit.
Interesting that Big Kilpatrick is playing way high, almost by the 3-point line. That's really a high post. I'd want her inside with that size.
So Kilpatrick will hit the first. And she'll knock down the second. 1.7 remaining now. McMillan crosses over, can't get a shot off. And the first 10 minutes in the books. As the Halifax Hornets with a dominating first 10 minutes, they lead 21-6.
Well, certainly the fact that Reese Baxendale is not here with Port City, UPEI star, that's a loss for them. You know, they've had some bad luck. They've gotten it inside. It's sort of rimmed around. But the reality is that they've got a tough order with a team that's as deep as as Halifax, and they're pushing the ball.
Reese Baxendale averaging 13 points per game. That's 7th in the league. As you mentioned, highly decorated is Baxendale, the AUS Rookie of the Year, all-rookie team in 2017-18, and multiple first and second team all AUS. She part of that battery mates between her and Jenna Mae Ellsworth in the backcourt for Matt Gamblin, and taking the Panthers to 2 national championships, one as a AUS champion and the other as a qualifier.
And they were 9-0 when Jenna Mae went out with the I believe it was ACL, and was finished for the season and sadly for her career. Be interesting. I hope she recovers and be maybe back in this league next year. It would be wonderful to see her play again.
Yes, Jenna Mae Ellsworth, Defensive Player of the Year, AUS MVP of the Year, as well as U Sports Player of the Year. Highly decorated player. 2 stars, Jenna Mae Ellsworth, also a soccer player as well. Could have chose either soccer or basketball as Ellsworth, but a great career she finished up this season. Not on the court though. Baxendale did, and Baxendale, a fourth-year senior, deciding not to come back. I had a conversation with Baxendale and Ellsworth after the ending of the AUS Championships most recently this year in March, where the Acadia Axewomen were able to win the championship, take home that Covenant, trophy, and head to the Nationals, where both teams didn't fare well, but nevertheless they've always been able to get there and be on the stage for the AUS and represent the AUS very well.
Clara Gascoigne on the Halifax Hornets roster. Now, she was injured at the AUS, and she was playing great for St. Mary's. It was a tight game, and I'm wondering if she's still laboring a little bit because she hasn't been in the game yet.
So the second quarter underway. Port City with possession. Kilpatrick left it a little short, was hounded by Parent. Parent running straight to the rim, trying to get away from Kilpatrick, and Beaumont will be called for the offensive foul. That'll be her second, team's first. Great defensive transition there by Emily Briggs, step in front of Beaumont.
And you see they're really denying the guard, they're pressuring the guard. Makes it tough to, to rest on offense and take it up slowly. They can't do it when there's someone in their sneakers.
Two-man game between Briggs and Farwell. That goes by the wayside. Here's Smith. Smith now on the drive. Smith gets bumped by Briggs, and she'll shoot two.
Every coach, in this situation, when you only have a certain number of players available to play today, a shorter bench, you would like to be able to have your guard rest a little bit on offense by taking it up, but Halifax wisely has McMillan right up on her. As soon as she catches the ball, she's being defended.
So Smith will hit the first. And Chanel knocks down both. So Chanel's up to 9 points, and that's tops thus far for both teams. 23-6 is the lead for the Hornets. Farwell lost the handle, and that'll be another turnover committed by Port City. And if you're Port City, you need to value these possessions here with the limited offense that you're displaying thus far. So Skier will come in.
And Madison Monroe,
and Brown as well.
Her first trip in on the floor.
Skier for three. Little strong here, and you mentioned Monroe into the game for the first time for the Hornets. Played her university basketball at CBU with Hannah Brown. From Truro, Nova Scotia is Monroe. She'll dump it inside to Brown. Brown draws the double, swings it over to Skier. Skier with the blow-by, pull-up, floater. Can't get it to go down. Battling for the loose ball, kept it alive. The Smith knocks it down, and Smith continues to be perfect from the field.
Nice release too, very soft release, and very patient.
And Skier chased down her own miss, found Smith, who's perfect now. She's got 11. Kirkpatrick will put up the three. That's no good. Brown with another rebound. She'll give it to Monroe. Monroe now tied up by Kilpatrick. And jump ball will force an alternating arrow and will stay with the Hornets.
I can't get over Kilpatrick plays so high because she's just not the biggest player out there for both teams. I mean, we've got some size on both sides, but she parks herself way up here.
You got that positionless basketball now as Skier knocks down the three. As Kilpatrick playing her university basketball in the United States. You know, you do see the inside-outside game, but most of, the players have to be able to handle the basketball on the wing. Nice pass inside. The reversal's no good. And she was able to find a teammate.
She wouldn't be that big.
No, not at all.
She'd be a guard.
And able to get that one to go down is Lauren Harris. Here's Skier now, who knocked down a three on the last possession. Smith will draw up the three from the corner, throws up the air ball, and that's her first miss. Good challenge here on that three by Kilpatrick. Farwell now, she's bumped to the floor by Monroe, and she'll be helped up to her feet. Now it'll be a foul on Monroe.
Hornets foul chase number 22, Madison Monroe. First personal, second.
Aaliyah Frazier will check into the game for the first time for the Hornets, along with Ariana Macias. Shields will come back for Port City, and Briggs will sit down. So Aaliyah Frazier's in there from St. Avex.
St. Avex again trying to rebuild again.
Frazier on the all-rookie team in the AUS in 2019-2020. Macias can't get it to fall. The follow-up there by Frazier. That's stolen away. And Port City will come back the other way. Here's Kilpatrick. Takes Brown off the bounce. Almost turns it over. That's swung, and that's right into the broadcast area. And
I was ready.
Gail, I thought you were going to make the catch, but it didn't make it over the table.
I was waiting. I had my hands at the target.
So the turnover starting to pile up here for Port City.
They must be pretty frustrated. They only have 6 points on the board.
Almost at the midway point here in the second quarter. Macias, she'll put up the three. Can't get it to fall. Brown with the rebound. Second chance coming up. And Skier knocks down back-to-back triples.
I think some of her Armbre kids are here cheering her on.
Kilpatrick thought about the three. Nice stutter step. Gets it inside to Harris. She's tied up by Skier, and Skier will be called. Excuse me, Frazier will be called for the foul. As Farwell will go back to the bench for Port City along with Shields. And coming back for Port City will be Henderson along with Briggs. So Kilpatrick will inbound. Good catch there by Henderson. Back to Kilpatrick. Baseline drive, and she puts a shoulder into Macias, but Macias will be called for the foul, and Kilpatrick will shoot too.
It's interesting that you point out that she's played in the States. And it is true, that's why at her size she's playing perimeter, sort of a Brianna Stewart type, game. But in this situation, I'd still say get inside. She showed a nice inside move there. She can attack off the dribble.
Gets the first one to go. Second one coming up. That rims out. And a rebound is garnered there by Leah Martin. Martin checking into the game for the first time, a Dalhousie product. Varney for three. Kilpatrick with another rebound. She'll quickly throw it up to Mitchell. Kilpatrick now directing traffic as Martin will draw that assignment. Nice pass inside, unable to convert was Henderson. And Henderson will be called for the foul.
Leah Martin, of course, one half of that great Dow sister duo with her sister. But Martin's her married name. Girdwood sisters.
Varney, corner three. Rebound by Frazier. She'll dump it inside. And that's ripped away from Martin. And Port City will make their way back down the other end. Here's Henderson. Briggs, and Henderson runs right into the chest of Jalen Skier. So Skier picking up another offensive foul call on Port City, stepping in the lane and drawing that charge.
So many players, they just don't see the person coming in. They try to pass off the dribble, and then, they have to be in control of themselves.
Frazier now, skip pass to Macias. She thought about it. Back to Frazier. Frazier will have to gather it before it goes over the timeline. Skier will spot it for three again, and Jade Lynn is knocked down. 3 threes in a row from the same spot.
And they closed out on her, but it was a token close. It's like you didn't get the hands really in her line of vision.
And Farwell will answer down the other end with her own three. Barney now. Frazier baseline, draws the double, leaves it there for Martin. Macias will put up the 2 just inside the 3-point line, and Ariana Macias with her first field goal.
They are hot.
26-point lead. It's the largest here for the Hornets. If you're a Port City, you cannot afford to trade baskets here. That's tied up as Stewart and Macias collide. And that'll be a jump ball, I believe, and it will stay with the Hornets. As Alana McMillan and Lucina Beaumont will come in. Macias will step to the bench along with Frazier.
Port City coach is probably looking down and saying, those are the subs? Where do we get a break?
McMillan steals the inbound. McMillan one-on-one, spins. McMillan can't get the left to go down, and Briggs will come up with the rebound. Here's Farwell. Farwell will take her time. She'll get inside, she'll spin on Beaumont, leave it there. And all bottled up is Bailey Henderson, and she'll walk as right in the middle of everything defensively once again is Jalen Skier.
Got everything working because they're hitting, you know, their offense is distributed. We've got Smith has hit some, Jalen. Really, they're all really very efficient on offense, and then their defense is swarming.
Skip past to Varney. Good ball movement here for the Hornets. Here's McMillan. Jaws the double. Skier, another 3. That's partially blocked by Henderson. Henderson now, she'll play it up. Inside the Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick around Martin, and that's stolen by Varney. Varney now in transition. Trying to find Beaumont. Beaumont will step up, and that 3's in and out.
Guess you can take that when they're up 26.
Kilpatrick will bring it over the timeline. Farwell, she'll turn the corner. Baseline, reversal. Can't get it to go down as Megan Stewart got there but couldn't finish.
Bad luck, they've missed a few like that.
Varney for 3, and Varney will knock down her first from beyond the arc. And that'll be a timeout called by Madeline Belding, as she has seen enough, and it leads up to 29.
Well, how do you stop them? Because you think maybe you shut down one player, but it's so evenly distributed. They're all contributing, inside and outside.
Both of these teams coming into this matchup this afternoon, as the Halifax Hornets coming off a tough loss on Wednesday, as the Thunder beat them 73-58. So trying to get a bounce back performance here is John Tramble and the Hornets. Port City, on the other hand, they lost a tough one on May 19th to the Fredericton Freeze, 60-55. A close contested basketball game between those two New Brunswick clubs.
Be interesting to see them maybe next time. Who knows, maybe tomorrow some more players will arrive. I think they have 16 listed, but only 9 here today. And I'm not really sure who their normal starters would be, but I'd say Reese Baxendale stands out to me. I would think she'd be a major player. Injuries
and work commitments, all part of this league and the inaugural year.
Yep.
As you mentioned, tomorrow afternoon, it's actually tomorrow morning, Port City will play the Windsor Edge at 11 a.m. here at the A. Garnet Gymnasium. And just to mention, fans, we got one more game in the first day of this showcase weekend, as the Halifax Thunder will take on the Fredericton Freeze after this game. Nice take by Bailey Henderson out of the timeout to finish with the left hand.
First time they've had that much room.
Beaumont, Skier, pull up. Tough shot forced there by Kilpatrick, and able to come up with the rebound is Parent, who's come back out of the timeout along with Chanel Smith. Briggs will come in for Henderson. That'll be her 3rd personal with a short bench. She has to come out for the remainder of this first half. Lauren Harris will also come back. And Emily Fitzpatrick will sit down for the foul. Here's Beaumont. Hand off to Smith. He'll put up the 3. Tough shot forced there by Stewart. And Smith has missed back-to-back field goals, but she started off perfect. And McMillan providing the pressure and forcing a turnover committed by Emily Briggs.
That has been so hard on Port City, as I said. Their guard, she has no breathing room whatsoever. Even there, she was pursued the whole way until finally the turnover.
So the Twin Towers for the Hornets, and Follis and Crosby will come back for the Hornets.
They're in a zone now. See if that can help them at all. It can be hard with the outside shooting, but they'll have to get out on those shooters.
Skier for 3. She'll throw up the air ball. Smith will come up with the rebound. 5 seconds to shoot. McMillan will put it up from downtown. Smith with another offensive rebound, and Smith is bumped by Kilpatrick, and Chanel will shoot 2.
See how many fouls that is on Kilpatrick.
Already, as you mentioned, a shortened bench to foul come into this matchup, as it looks like Fitzpatrick will come in, as that'll be the first on Kilpatrick.
They can't afford to lose her, that's for sure. They've tried a zone. They'll probably stay in it till the end of this this quarter, this half. Might help as long as they don't give them those open looks, because they're hitting them.
Chanel Smith continuing her great evening as she knocks down both. Here's Kilpatrick. She'll bring it over the timeline. Farwell's come back. That's poked away by McMillan. 2-on-1 back the other way. Drops it off to Follis. And Follis thought she got fouled. Good play there by Farwell to get back in transition. Farwell gets it over the timeline, and Skier almost come up with a steal there. Farwell's bump, counted, and 1. Great decision there by Farwell, as she had Follis all the way on her hip right to the rim, and she was able to convert.
We talked about in the last game, Windsor edged their defense, which was primarily half court. But Halifax Hornets, it's just constant. There's no breathing room at all. It doesn't matter if you're under your own basket, they're there. They're on top of you when you're trying to bring it up.
So Farwell can't complete the 3-point play. Smith will draw it up for 3. That draws the back of the arm. Follis with the rebound, scramble for it. And she thought she was fouled. She gets that foul on Fitzpatrick. Both teams over the limit, and they'll be shooting bonus the rest of the way.
41-14 is kind of grim for the Fog.
55.2 remaining here in the opening half.
As I say, one of the things that you try to do if you're Port City in this situation is try to slow down the pace, but it's impossible when the pressure is just constant. They're not giving Port City any chance to just take it easy and settle in. There's no settling in here.
The body's flying on the floor, as Follis will be called for the foul. That's her first personal. And it looks like Briggs will shoot a couple. Skier will sit down. Leah Frazier will come in for the Hornets. Briggs will shoot 2.
And also to be the Fog, number 8, Megan Stewart.
So Megan Stewart will come in, and Kaylee Kilpatrick will sit down for the remainder of this half.
Into the game, the Hornets.
Leah Martin will come in. So both of these teams making some substitutions late. They're not coming very quick, Gail.
No.
Put me to work to try to keep track of all these substitutions.
You're doing a great job. I'm glad you're doing it.
So Briggs will hit the first. She'll make both. It's the Crandall University product. Here's McMillan. Over to Smith. Smith being guarded there closely by Shields. Frazier swings it into the corner to Smith. Smith back. And 2-man game between her and Crosby. Crosby converts high off the glass. Beautiful half-court set by the Hornets.
Very good patience against that zone. It worked it perfectly. Didn't just jack it up from outside.
Farwell's three rims in and out. Here's Smith looking to push the pace. McMillan able to get it on the run out. McMillan gets it back, throws up the air ball, and Briggs will gather it. Briggs now closely guarded by Frazier. Port City will hold for the last shot here. Farwell thought about the three, gets inside, and tries to get it up before the buzzer, and that'll do it. So 20 minutes in the books. The Hornets lead this one. They're up big, 44-16. So we'll step aside. We'll be back with a halftime report. Stay with us. You're watching the MWBA Showcase Weekend here on a Maritime Athletic Profiles. Welcome back to Halifax in the A. Garner Gymnasium on the campus of Mount St. Vincent University for game number 2 of the MWBA Weekend Showcase. The Halifax Hornets leading this one after 20 minutes, 44-16 over the Port City Fog, alongside Gail Rice, Vince Williams on hand. And Gail, the first 20 minutes, the Halifax Hornets really got it going, and as you could see, that they really were trying to push the issue on both ends of the floor, but they got it done defensively. But if you're Port City, you come into this game a little short-handed, as we mentioned several times, but you need to try to chip away at things, and it takes one possession at a time. Although you don't have your full complement of players, if you're Port City right now, what would be the message as you would serve here to Madeline Belding, the head coach of the Port City Fog? If you were in her shoes, what would be the message to your players at this moment?
Well, again, I did find out at halftime that Reese Baxendale would have started, and Courtney Thompson also not here has started, so that's tough. But again, I kind of harp on the fact that go inside. If they can slow it down on offense a little bit, if Halifax backs off at all, and I doubt they will, but if they can maybe get, show a little patience, bring it down, and get some inside action. I know that Kilpatrick likes to play outside, but as a coach, I'd be moving her inside right now. It's a steep hill to climb at 44-16.
So Port City with some work to do, 20 minutes to do it. Try to turn the tides here to pick up their second win on the season. The Halifax Hornets trying to improve their record to 3-1, as both teams have 20 minutes to do so.
I was mentioning that Clara Gascoigne, I was surprised she wasn't in the game. I understand she suffered took a fall, possible head injury in their last tournament, and hasn't played since, so she's recovering from an injury.
As you mentioned, Courtney Thompson, St. John product, attended Simons High School, played 5 seasons with Dalhousie, AUS MVP, U Sports first team All-Canadian, started 95 of 100 career games, amassed 1,400 points with the Tigers, averaging 15 points per game. Port City able to steal the ball off the opening possession by the Hornets, and that might turn things in the right direction. Just trying to get one possession at a time. And we mentioned Reese Baxendale, 4 seasons with UPEI, U Sports All-Rookie Team in 2017-18. AUS Rookie of the Year in 2017-18, first team All-Star in 2019-20, AUS Championship Tournament MVP in 2019-20, and U Sports bronze medalist in 2022 with the Panthers, averaged 14 points. So there you go, Gail. Those type of numbers are missing for Port City this afternoon.
That's for sure. But, good for Port City. They've come out, and interesting, I thought that the Hornets would maybe show a little more patience, but they've turned the ball over a couple of times and now foul, so Port City probably feeling a little better.
So Henderson will go to the line to shoot 2. That'll be the second foul on Elena McMillan. And Chanel Smith led all scorers in the first 20 minutes with 13 points. Jalen Skier off the bench for the Hornets had 9. And Rachel Farwell was the top scorer in the first 20 minutes for Port City with 12. Here's Parent, and that's rejected by Kilpatrick.
Big person to try and shoot over.
Here's Briggs back the other way. As Port City will start this third quarter with Kilpatrick, Briggs, along with Henderson's out there, Farwell, and Stewart. As Kilpatrick got inside the painted area, you mentioned it, and she was able to knock it down.
Yeah, she likes to attack from that high post.
Hornets now, they'll counter in this third quarter. It's McMillan handling the point position. Leaves it there, Parent, and a nice move there by Folis as she leaves it there for Parent. And Smith's out there as well, and Beaumont to round out the lineup here to start this third. Nice backdoor pass there as Farwell unable to convert off that pick and roll.
That was a good inside attack again, but you've got to make those.
Parent now. McMillan thought about it, leaves it there for Follis. Follis, that rims out. She'll get her own rebound, swings it to Beaumont. Beaumont dials up the three, a wild shot off the backboard. That's no good. And
Coach Tramble up on that one, I think, thinking, oh, maybe not.
so the Hornets 5 for 13 from downtown. As Farwell's three's no good. Another one and done for the Fog. Here's Beaumont. McMillan puts up the three. Count it. Nice looking move by Elena McMillan. Was able to shake the defender and knock down the triple.
Port City hoping that these some of these girls don't get hot again. Because once they get rolling, they're hard to stop.
And Briggs gets all the ways to the cup and knocked to the floor, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. Lina McMillan, as we mentioned, finished her career off at St. Mary's University this past season. The Ecuador native was raised in Tampa Bay. Previously played at Hillsborough Community College in Florida. Averaged 11.3 points per game for Scott Monroe and the Huskies. So Briggs will shoot two here.
When you think about it, they were sitting at 4. Port City was sitting at only 4 points on the board for the longest time. This is a better start for them this half.
And Briggs will knock down a couple more. So Shields will step in for her.
They've already scored 7 points in the first 3 minutes of this quarter. That's better than they did most of the first half.
Amelia Mitchell's back out there for the Fog. Here's Monroe. She's into the game for the first time in the second half for the Hornets, along with Skier. Monroe, she'll put up the three. Kind of stepped out of that one, but it's batted around. Second chance coming up as Hannah Brown, who's checked into the game as well, kept it alive. Skier now draws the double. Monroe skip pack to McMillan, got to put it up. And McMillan puts it down.
That's when you're on the other side, you're thinking, uh-oh. Here's another one heating up.
Everything going the way of the Hornets this evening, as Shields is all bottled up there, tied up by McMillan. And possession arrow will favor the Fog. It'll stay there. They'll have possession here, and they'll inbound.
You kill your dribble against Halifax Hornets like that with no one to pass to, you're asking for a steal. They're just all over you.
As Macias will come in, Beaumont will step out. 6:22 remaining here in the third. A little pushback here by the Fog. Kilpatrick.
Good D.
Fade away. That's battered around, and last touch by Farwell.
Hannah Brown, that was good D on Kilpatrick. Didn't give her any room. She was trying to make that reverse pivot.
Late substitution as Kilpatrick will step out. Megan Stewart will come back for the Fog.
52-23 for Halifax, but as I said, they're showing a little life here at Port City, working hard.
Monroe skips it into the corner for McMillan. Can't get it to go down, and Stewart will rip down the rebound. Here's Stewart now. Stewart spins in the lane, draws the triple. Farwell took too many steps off of that pass. They're trying to find a cutting teammate in Amelia Mitchell.
Spin move in the key against Halifax is ill-advised, I think. She's lucky because the help is right there when you turn your back.
Macias. Dump pass inside from Monroe and Brown, who were former teammates for the Capers. And they were very good for Fabian McKenzie and the Capers.
Oh, yeah.
Monroe and Hannah Brown had a very, very good career in U Sports. Backdoor, nice move, and finish there with the left hand is Farwell. They really need Farwell to step up in the second half offensively. Macias for three. That's no good. And you see now Halifax settling for that 3 ball. Shields now gets it inside. The Farwell, nice drop step, uses the right hand, and that rims in and out. McMillan on the drive. McMillan loses the handle. Last touch by Alina. And it will go over to the Fog. So Monroe will sit down. McMillan will sit down. Barney will come in. Crosby as well. And for the Fog, it's Briggs along with Henderson.
Whenever you have a big lead, as Halifax did at the half, sometimes you come out and you lose a little bit of that intensity. Coaches worry about that. They still have a good, healthy lead, but every coach is like, come on, pick it up.
Briggs can't finish. Down the other end comes Macias. Count it, and 1. As Bailey Henderson was late to try to step in to take the charge, and Macias did a good job of arcing her body to avoid that contact. And now she'll go to the line to reward herself with an attempt at the 3-point play.
I see assistant coach Jonathan Bell is up there giving Jalen a few instructions. He was not a bad ball player for St. FX.
Jonathan Bell, a very good basketball player for the X-Men.
And a great guy. Runs a good program.
Kilpatrick to the cup as he was an assistant coach under the tutelage this year with the Dalhousie Tigers and Anton Berry in his one and only season after taking over for Anna Stamberger.
And now I see Anton has a nice new position at Dow.
Yes.
Overseeing a lot of both the men's and women's program.
So congratulations to Anton if you happen to be tuning in this afternoon.
And the new head coach, I know well. I'll talk about her when we get a break. Tanya Mackenzie McKay.
Comes very highly decorated from the University of Winnipeg, I do believe.
And from Sackville High.
Yes. Proud Nova Scotian. Run out. Port City, and that'll call a timeout as John Trammell will talk it over. Kilpatrick and a nice stretch pass with the run out there as a little bit of life here for Port City Fog.
Oh, they are. They're going at it. They're not giving up. I mean, we've got quite a bit of time left in this game. We both know what basketball can be like. I mean, you can have a 20-point lead and it can vanish pretty quickly.
It's a game of runs. It's a cliche, but it's still in itself. It's very true. As we saw in game number 1, it looked like the Windsor Edge were going to go and run away and hide in that game. They had a 20-plus point lead, and in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes, the lead was down to 8 points.
Doesn't take much at all. Just to get back to Tanya, I'll just finish that thought. Tanya McKay is her married name, taking over at Dow. I coached against Tanya when she was at Sackville High, and I think her coach was Rick Plato at Sackville High. And I remember the first time we played them, I was coaching at St. Pat's, and we were just not the greatest team that year. And we couldn't stop her. She had 38 points, and she was a great player, and then went on to be a great player at Winnipeg. But a proud Nova Scotian, and it's nice to see her back.
Yeah, she will take over the Dalhousie Tigers. And trying to get the Tigers, one step at a time and get them to, that upper echelon in the AUS, and it's not going to be an easy task.
No, they have to rebuild it. Recruiting is a big part of it. Carolyn Savoy was wonderful at recruiting.
Baseline jumper's no good by Skier out of the timeout. Here's Briggs on the dead run. Can't get it to fall. Kind of got bumped there by Brown, no call. Barney now, 1-on-3, trying to get it over the timeline. Skier will pull up for 3. And a good rebound by Crosby. Was able to get that rebound. Now she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
You see little energy, even though they've got a short bench, they've decided to pick up full for a little bit, put some pressure, put pressure on Halifax bringing the ball up. Halifax has certainly been pressuring them.
Harris will come back for Port City. along with Amelia Mitchell. Crosby able to knock down both.
Turnover now.
Gear with the steal. Brown for three. Might have got fouled from behind by Mitchell, but it looks like it was last touch by Mitchell on the partial block. Brown wanted a foul on that three-point attempt. She gives the referee a little cheeky, grin here.
The refs are perfect. As a coach, I never ever disagree with the call. I hope Ed McHugh isn't listening.
Brown on the inbound, that's knocked out of bounds. This evening's officials, Alonzo Wright, Adam Detienne, and Joe Harvey. As Joe Harvey and Alonzo Wright will have a conference in which way it should go, and Jalen Skier was trying to protest that it might have been last touch by the Fog. Nevertheless, Kilpatrick will inbound. She'll get it back and bring it over the timeline.
I'm wondering if Jalen broke her glasses because they were knocked off, and I noticed she doesn't have them on.
Yep, she's out there without the aid of her glasses. Kilpatrick, beautiful pocket pass there, left it there. A wide open layup, and unable to convert was Mitchell. Varney will make the Fog pay. She'll knock down the three.
So much depth.
As John Tran will continue to roll his
what
positional players there and reserves, as Varney will step out, McMillan will come back, Parent will come back, and Chanel Smith. Here's Kilpatrick. Mitchell on the drive. Kick out. Shields, the right hand. She can't get it to go down, and Smith will clear the boards. Smith now crosses over. Smith thought about the pull-up, lays it down low for Parent, and Parent banks it home. So Jasmine Parent, the beneficiary off a beautiful crossover and drop pass there by Chanel Smith.
Great feed.
Here's Briggs, and that's a kick ball on Macias. It will stay with Port City. And Farwell will come in. Briggs will check out. Varney will come right back. Macias will step out along with Crosby, along with Lucy Beaumont.
The margin's climbing again, 62-28 now.
Mitchell leaves that mid-range short, and McMillan races back the other way. Here's Beaumont. Skip pass. Smith, blow by. Leaves it there for Parent, and she'll bank it home again. Both of these ladies played for Acadia University.
And know each other well. Played against each other at high school, Halifax West and I think Horton. Ooh, there you go.
Farwell knocks down the triple. As I mentioned earlier in this quarter, they need Rachel Farwell to step up offensively in the absence of Thompson and Baxendale.
University of Toronto, it says.
Parent again. That's the third straight off the glass for Jasmine Parent.
That interior defense is suffering right now. Now, nice steal from Chanel.
Easy work here. McMillan for three, and this might force a timeout by Coach Belding, and it does.
Yes,
She
it
has
did.
seen enough as McMillan knocks down the triple. A huge lead, 69-31 for the Hornets.
Well, what can you say? Because as a coach on the other bench, you're wondering, I think I've got it settled down. I've stopped this one, I've stopped that one, and then on comes Jasmine, and she scores. Beautiful. Anybody inside is so appreciative when a guard sees them. It's like, hey, I'm working hard in here. Can you give me the ball? Can I have a touch now and then? I know as a guard.
I know. I'm starting to realize that when I was playing basketball at St. Patrick's under Hugh McDonald, and you were coaching
I was coaching
the women's team
Yep.
at St. Patrick's, that really could see the style of play that you're giving here, trying to get the ball inside, work that ball inside. Let's see what we can get inside before we work it out. And
exactly.
those last 5 possessions, Jasmine Parent, beneficiary off some nice dribble drive penetration and dump off inside as she got in good position to shoot the basketball and not bring it down where she would have to gather it, but she just catch it in her shooting pocket and lay it off the glass and in.
Because the game was that way back then, where we did look inside a lot, at times I'd get a little annoyed at my guards because they weren't getting the ball into the girls who were working so hard. I could see they were frustrated. So at practice, I'd have the post play the guard position and make the guards go inside, and then they'd realize, oh, I never got the ball.
Okay.
Say, well, yeah, now you know how they feel.
I can remember who those guards were. Name a few.
We won't.
Signa Butler and Joan Williams.
Oh, well, Signa was, and Dion Susie and some of those girls,
Yes.
Allie Jarvis,
Yes.
Tara Sherlock, all great guards. And they did share the ball. I better say that or they'll be after me.
Kilpatrick called for the foul there off the Farwell 3 out of the timeout.
Signa Butler, of course, a great CBC sports commentator now.
She sure is.
So we got a zone by the looks of it here.
Varney now, skip pass. Here's McMillan for 3. McMillan can't knock down back-to-back triples. And the Fog will take over here with possession.
69-31. Rough go for Port City.
Minute 7 remaining here in the third. Alongside Gail Rice, Vince Williams on hand, and the entire Maritime Athletic Profiles crew here at A. Garnet Gymnasium on the campus of Mount St. Vincent University. Nice put back there by Briggs. Just stayed with it and was able to get the rebound and the putback.
You know, these girls, these ladies are playing, and I say ladies because that's what I always called them back then, but these women are, they're playing for the enjoyment too. They're not going to stop just because the score is bad. They're just going to keep working hard. That's great to see.
Briggs inside, tried to find Megan Stewart, who had McMillan posted up in the painted area. Try to take advantage of that mismatch. As the Hornets will hold for the last shot here in the third. Skip past to Varney. Good catch. Varney jaws the double. Knocked away under 5. Varney forces up the 3. And Briggs will grab the rebound. Good closeout. Good defense to end the quarter for Port City. But the Hornets lead it 69-33. In this one, they ran away earlier in this game in the first quarter, and it's just been an uphill battle for Port City, who come into this game shorthanded.
And yet, as I said, they came in short-handed and missing some key players, as we understand, you know, from what we've been told. And they're still going out there and enjoying it because it is a joy. This league is a great gift to the women here in the Maritimes that they can get to play at this level. And, you know, to the people who've started this league, and I see Tasia McKenna here, of course, Leslie States, and many of these people who are behind this league, I just give them nothing but full marks and my admiration, because you look at, here we are, and there's another game coming up at 7, and the people are continuing to come in. There's not much room.
No.
They're going to have to go home and listen to you, because I won't be your sidekick for the 7 o'clock. But I'll be listening and watching.
And that 7 o'clock game should be an absolute barn burner, as the Halifax Thunder, trying to continue their undefeated ways, they come into that 7 o'clock matchup versus the Fredericton Freeze, 4-0. The Freeze trying to put the freeze on the Thunder in that nightcap, as they come into that game 2-1 and tied for second.
Yes, I understand it's going to be they really expect it to be a good game, and as I said, I can't stay, but I'll be certainly tuning in. And we also, the sponsors that they've managed to get for this league the corporate sponsors who've come on board. What a great thing for women's sport. It's always been hard in the past to get sponsors for women's sport. And now, we're proving that we can draw fans and people want this.
Many, many of thanks to the following sponsors: Stuart McKelvey Law, Emira, Excel Physiotherapy, Mount St. Vincent Athletics and Recreation, Nova Scotia Gaming Corporation, and Lumetti. Just a few to name of the many sponsors this season in the MWBA Showcase Weekend here in Halifax. Hornets with possession to start the fourth. Beaumont will turn it over. Parents out there along with Barney, McMillan, and Smith. Port City, they'll go with Kilpatrick. There's Stewart. She'll leave it short. And back the other way come the Hornets. McMillan, pull up. That rims in and out. She'll get her own miss and put it right back up and in. Farwell's out there along with Briggs. Go ahead.
She's like the ever-ready bunny because it never runs down. Alina McMillan. The energy is terrific to see.
Farwell can't get it to go. She just most recently finished up her career at St. Mary's along with her teammate Macias. McMillan, that rims in and out. But the preparation for this league and for these ladies to get ready for it, we got to come in ready to compete because we have all types of skill sets on all different type of eras when it comes to women's basketball, either at the small college level or the university level in youth sports.
And we've shown the growth in our basketball when we go to the nationals. When you have St. Mary's with Justine Colley and Laura Langell and that crew, and then UPEI doing so well. In years past, UNB was very strong. But for a long time, we were like, oh, no, that's the 8th seed. It's the 8th seed. But we're showing that, the game is terrific and healthy here.
Some fine showings as well as Katie University, not to mention. We're going to see Haley McDonald in the next game. Also, as you mentioned, we're going to see Justine Colley-Legier. We're going to see her all-time leading scorer in the AUS, amongst the all-time leading scorers in youth sports, period.
Well, Haley McDonald broke a record that had been set, I'd say, in the 70s. Carol Turney-Lewis, who was a national team player. The national team was based here. Brian Heaney was coaching, and he was coaching the men's still at St. Mary's. I was vice president of Basketball Canada at the time, so I knew them well. And she set the record, and it stood until Haley McDonald, I forget, was it 54 points in one game?
It was 51 points, and I did every single point.
And it was great.
I called every single point in that AUS Women's Championship at the Scotiabank Center.
And Carol Turney-Lewis, she took her boyfriend, became her husband. Billy Lewis played for the men's team at St. Mary's, and she played for the women that 1 year because the national team was based here. What a great guard. She's from Vancouver, from BC. And I don't know that the three-point was in then, but doesn't matter. Haley.
I would imagine it was not in at that time, as you're mentioning. But
yes,
it did come in. I do believe it came
game.
in 1985.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess 85, 84,
before
86 would have been where the three-point line would have been introduced to basketball. Beaumont, that's rejected there by Kilpatrick. She'll bring it up and then bring it over the timeline. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell will try to turn the corner on Beaumont. Briggs will throw up the three. Kilpatrick with the rebound. Second chance coming up here for the Fog. Nice crossover by Briggs.
Oh,
Briggs lays it up and in. Beautiful move as she banks it home for Emily Briggs. She's played tough this afternoon.
She has.
For the Fog.
She's had to work very hard.
Beaumont, the Varney for three. And Varney will get it to go.
They're having a lot of fun, I'd say, Halifax in this game.
Here's Briggs. Knocked away from behind, but Briggs gets it back to Mitchell. Mitchell still inside the key. Kilpatrick will fire for three, and Kilpatrick will put it down. Showing that she's got a little range there. You were a little skeptical by Kaylee Kilpatrick, but she shows you she can knock down that three ball.
As I said, she's not Brianna Stewart, but she likes to play that same role. I'm 6'5", but I'm staying outside.
So stoppage and play here. They get up, take care of the moisture on the court. As Jalen Skier will come back for the Hornets, along with Monroe.
Wouldn't you love to have St. Pat's High gym still available, Vince? Come on. With all those bleachers, those were the
It'd
days.
be a great venue for this league, for sure. A lot of great basketball games been played in that old gym.
And I used to get it for our Melba games. That was a real treat.
Skier's three's no good. Monroe with the rebound, quick passing. Monroe for three, and that's just pretty. Unselfish basketball by the Hornets as Skier gave it to Smith, and Smith, no hesitation, was able to get it into the corner for a wide open three for Monroe. Here's Briggs working hard. Skier all over the floor. She'll steal it, throw it up to Frazier. Back to Skier, right inside the Folis.
Oh, perfect.
And perfect play as Folis able to knock it down.
Great sharing of the ball. Keeps everybody happy.
Back-to-back offensive sequences in the half court for the Hornets as they were able to move the ball quickly. Passing up on a good shot to get a better shot. Here's Skier, the Follis. Follis now, she'll wait. Smith, pull it out, back to Follis. Follis with the blow by, Follis steps through, and she'll bank it home.
I think I saw a little bit of fatigue there because the help just wasn't there. There was no help. Great drive, but they didn't think they're feeling it now, Port City.
5:44 remaining here between the Hornets and the Fog. Timeout called by Port City. And just another reminder, folks, one more game on the schedule here this evening. It'll be the Halifax Thunder and the Fredericton Freeze. But we have three more games tomorrow. And starting at 11 a.m., it will be the Windsor Edge. They'll take on the Port City Fog. And then at 1 p.m., the Halifax Hornets will match up against Fredericton. And the capper at 3 p.m., it'll be the Thunder and the Mystics. So some great basketball still remaining here in Halifax for this showcase weekend.
And as you know, I was commenting on the number of fans who are coming in. Never used to see, even for a university game, that they had to put chairs on the far side here at the Mount. And you've really got to get here early. Now tomorrow, keep that in mind, folks. If you think you're going to come in late and just catch the last game, might have to get here a little earlier.
Might be a very difficult task.
It's a hot ticket. and the price is right, too.
And we're not just saying that, it is. These women can really play the sport of basketball. And it's money worth spent. Port City out of the timeout. Shields for three. No, she stepped inside the line. And trying to bat it around and keep it alive there was Megan Stewart. She'll be called for over the back. And a good box out there by Jalen Skier.
The ball movement in the game today in general and the speed, it's very impressive as I look back on, basketball in the past a little bit. It's great to see the way they move the ball and they distribute the ball. Because when you do that, you've got a happy team. They're all getting a chance to touch the ball, have their touches.
Farwell. Stewart on the blow by. Stewart banks it home. Nice move there by Megan. And she was able to get away from Monroe on the wing. Quick ball movement along the perimeter.
Great
by the
skip.
Hornets. Here's Skier on the 10. Skier throws it right into the breadbasket of Lauren Harris. As Jalen's back out there, now she has the 8 of her glasses now.
Yeah, that helps.
Stewart spins, draws the double. Bottled up by Monroe. Farwell for 3, and Farwell puts it in. Nice play there by Stewart, and Farwell with the contested 3, she knocks it down.
She did. I think Frazier had a hand in her face there.
Monroe, she'll dial it up. Can't get it to go. Bat it into the hands of Fallis, and she'll bank it in.
Against the zone, the skip pass is so effective, and boy, they're nice and strong. They're just whipping it from side to side. Always want to get to the weak side when you're playing against a zone, and Halifax doing a great job.
Both sides get multiple substitutions as Martin will come back along with McMillan. Fallis will sit down. Frazier's out there for the Hornets. Baseline drive is Kilpatrick, is fouled by Martin. And Kaylee Kilpatrick will go to the line to shoot 2.
See, that makes me happy to see her inside, even though she missed.
Her last field goal was a 3.
She probably heard me. She said, no, wait a minute now. I can play the perimeter, no problem.
Showing her inside-outside game, unable to get both of them. As the second one rims out. Empty trip for Kilpatrick. McMillan now. McMillan gets inside. McMillan spins and banks it in. Not sure if she called the bank, but it was open on that possession.
Of course.
Shields now off the pick and roll. Mitchell back to Shields. Shields inside the 3. That rims out. Monroe loses the handle. Kilpatrick drops it off to Mitchell, and Mitchell will bank it in. Brown dumps it off to Martin.
Oh.
And Martin with the conversion.
Great high-low there, but I was afraid that Leah was going to miss that. She didn't use the glass. But
Big to big as Hannah Brown finding Leah Mitchell on the back door. Kilpatrick on the spin to Martin. And Martin goes hard to the floor. And let's just hope that Leah's okay here. She'll take her time to get back up to her feet.
Yes,
Some great sportsmanship there being displayed by Kaylee Kilpatrick. As these women, they still have a career. This is a semi-pro league, but nevertheless, they still have to go back to their daily lives after these games.
That's right. And some still in university. That was just 2 big bodies there that collided. In fact, they called it on Leah. Sure, she wasn't happy with that.
No, great sportsmanship though being displayed. Kilpatrick goes right at Martin, can't get it to fall, and she'll be the last one to touch it. Good on the ball defense there by Martin. Here's Macias now. Brown on the baseline, and Brown off the glass and in, and you can see the little cheeky frown there by Brown. She didn't call the bank, but nevertheless.
No, because she made a little funny face, didn't she?
Yes, good shooters get those bounces, as Macias with the rejection on the baseline.
Even though we're in the last 2 minutes here, almost with 2:10 left, you can see the intensity still there. It's still given as as good as they get. There, see, little defense.
From the opening tap, the intensity was turned up about 100 decimals, probably even more. The first one was very highly contested, and despite the score, the Fog, they've been fighting. They have not given up on Coach Belding, and they have not given up on each other. Good run out there and catch in transition by Martin. She's bumped on her way to the rim by Harris.
She gets to take 2.
Little strong on the first.
High-powered Aves, 91 points. They're not done yet.
And this is where they come off a game where they were held to 58 points by the Halifax Thunder. So a rebound performance here for John Tramble and the Hornets. They'll move their record to 3-1. Frazier now.
Well, they continue to push. They're not slowing down.
Let's see, it's thought about it. She'll get it inside the Browns. Can't get it to go down, and it will go over to the Fog.
Into the game for the Fog, number 2, Emily Shields.
So Shields will come back for the Fog. Alicia McNeil in the game for the first time for the Hornets, the Mount St. Vincent University product. So she knows what it's like to play here. This is her home court.
Home gym. Great program here.
McNeil with the rebound. Here comes Macias to McNeil. McNeil will put up the 3. Left it short, and the Fog will clear the boards as Shields will bring it over. Under a minute to go. Here's Shields on the drive. She's sent packing the other way by Smith. And McNeil tried to fight over the top of the opponent, and Bailey Henderson. And that'll be the 4th team foul, as the Fog will have side out here, 28.2, 14 to shoot. Here's Mitchell. Stutter step. Pull up. Can't get it to go, and McNeil with another rebound. McNeil back the other way, loses the handle.
They're still, St. John's still pressing.
Still
Trying to
applying
give it-
that pressure.
That's right, trying to give it their all. You'd think they'd be pretty tired.
Still live to fight another day as Port City will play tomorrow along with Halifax, and 40 minutes in the books, the final. The Hornets 91-47, a convincing win and dominating win for the Hornets.
Yes, and I do admire Port City because they really kept working right till the last minute. You saw them at full court press, and that's impressive. So good for them. And what can you say about the Hornets? They just they were the complete team today.
So Port City's record goes to 1-4. And Halifax, as I mentioned, 3-1 as they continue down the road. Handshakes by both of these teams before they announce the player of the game for both of these sides. And we'll have a post-game interview. I do believe, not sure who it's going to be with, but somebody from the Halifax Hornets.
Well, I can certainly think there'll be ice packs and lots of water going on tonight for both of these teams, because that was a high-paced, and high-flying game. Very impressed, and as I said, I'm impressed that Port City worked as hard as they did.
Not much time for Port City, as they'll play 11 a.m. tomorrow here at A. Garnet Gymnasium versus the Windsor Edge, who picked up the victory in the first game versus the Moncton Mystics. And Halifax will play at 1 p.m. versus Fredericton, who will get warmed up and ready to go versus the Halifax Thunder.
I know we're waiting to get a player, and in the meantime, I want to thank you, Vince. I'm going to have to move on out, and really enjoyed working with you, and I look forward to coming to as many games as I can get to.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Gail, and it was always good to see you, and thank you for joining me. And nothing's possible without the help of you by my side, for sure.
Well, I'm tempted. I'd love to stay for the next one, but I have a commitment, so I'm going to go home. But I'm going to get you up on my live stream.
So I'll continue to roll on here at A. Garnet Gymnasium as we'll get set for the second game. So Jalen Skier named the player of the game for the Halifax Hornets. He was outstanding. And for Port City, it was Megan Stewart who was named player of the game.
Very deserving. Thanks, Vince.
Take care. So we'll step aside for a moment and we'll set up.
We're gonna do an interview with Vince because you're playing the game.
Oh, okay.
And then after, we're gonna get Gabby and Lily to do a virtual interview. So, do you mind putting that on? I can reel off.
I don't really know how to do this.
So it's just this thing goes out and goes anywhere up here. Congratulations, that was an awesome game.
What are we doing? Hey, cool hats, cool hats.
How many points did you get? How many points did she have? Jalen.
Who?
Jalen Skier, how many points? That's it? All right. Wasn't the point, it was your play.
Yeah, it wasn't the points for sure. This is a live camera. It's a
Okay,
live
what's
camera.
happening here?
We
What-
gotta do that.
Come on, can we get to this? All right. All right, standing by here with Jalen Skier of the Halifax Hornets. Jalen, impressive game for you and your teammates. Coming off a tough loss versus the Halifax Thunder,
Yeah.
you knew you had the rebound against Port City. How important was it for you guys to get off to a quick pace, a quick start in the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and I guess the point of focus was connecting as a crew. We felt like we were kind of mucking together a little bit against Thunder, but tonight we just wanted to share the ball, move it around, push the pace, and kind of just get a feel for playing with each other. You know, it's new. It's kind of still feeling each other out as a team. So, yeah.
Now, impressive game for you. You knocked down 3 threes in that first half, and it was the catalyst to things to come. You were all over the court defensively, turned it up defensively. Speak a little bit about your game. What was the mindset coming into this game for you to get your team going?
I guess my thing is just really bringing the energy. So whether it's offensively sharing the ball or defensively, just trying to encourage everybody, liven it up on the bench. And I think our team is just really fun to play with. I don't need to carry that burden. We kind of all share that, and that's what makes it super fun.
And looking ahead, taking on Fredericton tomorrow at 1.
Yeah.
What do you know about them, and what are the things that you guys will try to focus on as we continue on here in this season?
Yeah, I think we're starting to realize that our kind of benefit is pushing the pace. So that's definitely going to continue to be the focus. Moving the ball early, getting it up the floor. They're a pretty tough team. Yeah, they're a pretty good team. So we got to slow them down while still pushing the pace for us offensively. Yeah.
Now you have some of your team here that you coach at Ombre Academy.
Yeah.
How important is it to have this type of league and have you play in it to show your players that this is something that they can possibly look forward to once they are done high school and beyond?
Yeah, oh my God, it's so special. It's so special. Like, you know, all there was for all of us that are currently playing was university. And then in terms of watching high-level women's basketball, it didn't go beyond that. So I think it's really exciting for them. I think they're pumped up about it. They keep talking about how much they're loving being at the games, and just I can hear them constantly on the sidelines, and so it kind of makes it more fun for me, and I know that they're getting a kick out of it as well. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Jalen, and
Yeah,
good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Jalen Skier, the player of the game for the Halifax Hornets. They win it. They move the record to 3-1, and they'll play tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. versus the Fredericton Freeze. So now we got Lily Francois and Gabby Morash. I know you both, yes. I know if I didn't, I'd be doing you a disservice.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Whenever, you ready now? Okay, now a little fan appreciation in regards to this league, and coming in joined by Lillian Francois and Gabby Morash, two top players for basketball in Nova Scotia. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Representing our proud province in the national championships coming up in this summer. Talk about how important is it that this league exists in regards to, you're both in high school, you play high level basketball here in Nova Scotia. How important is it to see these women compete at this level?
I personally think it's good because I can see myself in a lot of these players. Like, I can see my moves, I can see everything that they're doing, and they've all played at a level that I want to get to or want to pass.
Right. I think it's great because it's just another league for women in basketball to be playing in, and we can see what we can achieve, and we can be playing in this league when that time comes as well.
And when that time comes, in regards to looking at these women and how they compete, you know, it's not only just the skill that you're trying to emulate, it's the compete level. The compete level is so important for young athletes to compete every single possession. When you see these women competing and knowing that some of these women are your coaches and your mentors, how much joy does it bring to you?
So much.
It's so much,
great
yeah.
to see them play because we've always wanted to, and they'll play and run with us, but we know they can do more. So it's great to see what they can do on the floor.
I agree, and I think it's also, we can see what they're teaching us and how they can implement it into their games as well. So.
Okay, and one last question. When it's all said and done, and I know you guys have high aspirations when it comes to basketball, sky's the limit, universities, possibly pro, WNBA, maybe somewhere over in Europe. When you guys hang it up and you're finally done and giving back as your current coach, Jalen Skier at our MWBA Academy,
And
is giving
Chanel.
back, and Chanel Smith, not to forget, Chanel as well. Will you guys be part of this league?
For sure.
Because you know it's going to be around.
We got to give it back. We got to give it back.
Yep. We'll be playing. We'll be playing always.
Okay.
And we'll be getting buckets, not just playing, getting buckets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Taking all the charges like Skier tonight.
Right.
Well, there you go. You heard it. Lillian Francois, Gabby Morash of the MWBA Academy here as fans in this inaugural year of the MWBA Showcase weekend here in Halifax. Stay with us. We have the final game between the Halifax Thunder and the Fredericton Freeze. Stay with us. You're watching the Maritime Athletic Profiles here at Mount St. Vincent University.
Thank you.
Thank you.